but you know that thing we were talking about off air. I think that's a game changer for us. We make that happen out here. That changes everything. Yeah, and actually, I was say it again. Oh yeah, I already know that once they put out a press release that they're going to do it, the press will follow them. So, hmm you know, I was even thinking about. I'm being careful not to say the names, but having a panel of women from different industries and different, I guess, having different concerns to ask a series of questions along with my questions before we give it to the audience. I don't want to see your belly. I don't want to see it. You can't get to me. You can't get to me. You gotta stay back there. No, 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 no. All right. If you want to start our live stream, Gabe, you can. You did? Well, stop it and restart it. Well, we welcome everyone to the Regina Sunshine Show at the Regina Sunshine Global Networks. This is my producer, Royce Hamilton with Frozen Moments Media. He will be directing everyone today. Hope y'all have a good time. And don't be nervous. We're going to have fun. Yes. Oh, we're still going to do it from her phone. She worked it out on her phone. Yeah. Y'all so quiet. So quiet. No, that's Miss Tiara right there. Higgins, yes. The other lady is a guest of yes. And Justin, if you need a space bigger than this one, behind that curtain there is an additional space that doubles this space. Normally that wall is up. He actually took the wall down and you can see the curtains. Normally there's a wall there, but it's retractable. Yeah, that's the new space that just probably like in the last month has been added. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Regina Sunshine, coming to you live from Regina Sunshine Global Networks with the Regina Sunshine Show. Here every Monday from 7 o'clock to around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you my Regina Sunshine State of Mind. And you know, our slogan, or our motto here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network is let your light shine and light up the world. So we try to create this space where individuals, artists, authors have an opportunity to tell their stories so that they can shine bright before the world and be elevated to the places that God has called them to be in. So I'm so excited about today's guest. We have author Lynn Corman-Bay and singer Tiara Higgins here live. And we're going to get a live in-studio performance as well. You guys know how I love musical performances. So get ready, Tiara. You're going to be live in a little bit singing for our fans. But I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Terry Cersei and Studio T, the facility that houses the Regina Sunshine Global Network. You know, thank you, Terry, for allowing us this opportunity. And if you're looking for a space to host your baby shower, to host a movie screening, a birthday party, a spoken word event, a music listening session, this is the perfect place for you. Make sure you reach out to me or Terry Cersei on Facebook to find out about having your event here at Studio T. And then also Lanita Mitchell-Blackwell with Leading Through Living. She is the publisher of both of my books, Regina Sunshine, State of Mind. I thought I had the other one out, but Lessons from My Grandmother's Lap. She's also the founder of Bold Favor magazine, of which I am editor-in-chief of the Bold Plus branch of that. So a shout out to Lanita Mitchell-Blackwell with leadingthroughliving.com. And of course, our amazing producers live in studio with Frozen Moments Media. We have Royce and Devette Hamilton here meeting not only our media needs, but your media needs. If you're looking for someone in graphics, photography, videography, just all around good people to have in the space with you, reach out to our friends at Frozen Moments Media. All right, so I do want to mention two upcoming events that I have, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest up, and I'm already choking up or something. And I've got some water. I got water. You see Regina Sunshine mug. I got a little water, but I just didn't want to pause but to drink it. But I guess I should instead of up here and can't talk. That ain't good. But this Saturday, July the 14th, I will be one of the featured speakers and authors at the very first Atlanta African American Book Festival over at Georgia State University. It is founded by Farai Caldwell, which was one of the young men that we honored at our Boss Awards a couple weeks ago. Actually, he got our Culture and Literature Award. And so he's a young man, the youngest book festival founder in the entire United States. So we're so excited to be a part of that. It is free to the public. It starts at 10 o'clock. It goes to 5 o'clock p.m. And again, it's going to be at the Student Center at Georgia State University. So you can go to aaabookfest.com to get more information. And then that same night, we will be launching the third issue of Bold Plus magazine since I took over as editor-in-chief. And I'm so excited that the founder of Curvy Girl Enterprises, Miss Andriana Williams, is going to be our cover, and she is actually hosting the event. That cover release party is going to be from 7 to 9. I think it's called Dulac's Bow Tie Chef Cafe in McDonough, Georgia. I've never been there before as well. I'm excited about this. So we'll be releasing our summer issue of this particular, of Bold Plus magazine. I'm so excited. We've got some plus size models that we featured from all over the country in this edition, and some of them are coming in just for this cover release. So we're excited. If you want to order your magazine in advance, go to boldfavormagazine.com, get some more information. But feel free to come out to the cover release with us. Again, it's free of charge. Come out, great networking, be amazing people in the building. And I'll be tired by the time I see you at the cover release after having been at Georgia State all day, but we're still going to have a great time. So those are my two announcements. I know I got others, but I'm going to stick with those so you guys can go ahead and meet these amazing guests. But I do want to mention, and here it is, what I'm thankful for today. I always like to end the first segment of the show talking about something that I'm thankful for. And I wrote down today, I'm thankful to my Father in heaven for peace. You know, I tell people all the time, whenever you're in the space that God has divinely created you to be in, there's peace. It doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean everything always goes like you think it should, but you have peace because you're where God told you to be. So if you're in something or you're somewhere or you're in a relationship and you don't have any peace, it's probably because God isn't there. And you need to find a way to get to where he is so you can have peace. So I'm thankful for peace. I've made some decisions recently that make no sense in the physical, make no sense to a lot of people around me, but I have peace because I'm where God told me to be. All right? So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I can't wait to introduce you guys to our first guest. Lynn Corbin Bay will be live here on the Regina Sunshine Show on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. We can clap them up like, remember the first show we did, we clapped people up?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
We can.
Let's do that.
We got to people here.
Yeah, let's do that.
How you like that, Lynn? Is that okay? Well, make sure he can get by there.
Check that other one too. I would say just look at the other stream and see what, is it captured?
Yeah. And pan the camera there. I like that.
Check the other one, Royce.
This one?
Yeah. Can you see his?
Not completely.
If you want to, we can seat him and then you can bring it in.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go ahead and seat you. And then let's bring his sign in. That works for me. That's a real book.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's like a Bible on somebody's table at their house. Did y'all hear it when it hit the table? I'm sorry.
A couple folks said it's bigger than the Bible.
And that's not covering him, is it?
You can come this way.
Good.
Come this way.
Okay.
Come this way. Come on. Awesome. Cool. I just want to hold it. Can I hold it? That's a book. When somebody told you they wrote a book. He wrote a book.
I wrote a few of them.
This is my book. Hold on. This is my book. Here you go.
All right, should I leave it here or let it sit down?
Good. You
Okay.
All right, you guys, you are back live on air at Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show. Yes, on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. And I'm so excited to have what I have to say now is a real author live on the show with me. Welcome, Mr. Corbin Bay. If you guys were watching the live stream in between the break, I have to show you how thick this book is. This is a real book. I mean, this is not something you sat down and wrote overnight and, you had it published, but let's go ahead and get into it. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm Lynn Corbin Bay. That's my name, and I'm an author, of course. And I do a lot of stuff. And mainly when people ask me what I do, I tell them what I don't do. And I don't physically have babies.
Wow.
Outside of that.
So that's it? So you
Outside
cook?
of that, I can do I cook. I clean. I do auto mechanics. I'm a film director and a producer. I got a computer science degree, so I do the computer thing. And
You do hair?
Somewhat. I do.
Wow. I thought I had it. I
Put
thought that was
those finger
it.
waves in there.
Oh, if you can do finger waves, you can do hair. Okay, you can do hair. Well, I always like to mention how I met someone, and I remember I don't think we got to talk, but at the Bold Favor Christmas party,
Yeah.
you were there, and so I saw you there, but we didn't actually meet until you came to the Boss Awards. You were one of the vendors here at the Boss Awards.
Exactly.
And I remember then you were telling me you were an event planner and all this other stuff, and I was thinking then, what don't you do? And here you've even told me new things that you do that I had no idea.
Coming up, I found that I had to, well, my mom started me out with the house. And she told me that whatever had got broke in the house and needed fixing, she was going to pay for it one time. So I better watch. Because the next time it gets broke, guess what?
That's
So,
pretty. That's pretty cool. That's a good philosophy to
yes,
have.
it was sort of like homeschooling, engineering, all at the same time. Because I wound up doing washers and dryers and electric and changing the fuse box over to a switch panel, and that was before I was 15. So changing out toilets and doing the plumbing, and if it needed to be done, I just wound up doing it, and that philosophy stayed with me. So wherever I found myself, if something needed to be done, I would put myself in a position to do it.
That's quite smart. It gives you an opportunity to create multiple streams of income because there's never a space you're going to find yourself in when you can't make some money.
Exactly.
And
And that was the
that's
reasoning
a tip.
behind getting a computer science degree, because I knew that everything coming down the road was going to have computers in it somewhere. So if I knew the computer part, I could go anywhere and do anything.
Absolutely. Well, we're here today to talk about your book. Again, your book. I have to say, when it hit the table, it was like a
Folks told me it's bigger than the Bible.
oh yeah, I mean, cause that's what I thought. Everybody's got the big Bible that's in the middle of the table at grandmama's house. That's what I thought when it hit the table. So before we start talking about the book itself and the content, how did you start writing?
Well, it was actually one of those, how can you say it, one of those roads through the concrete moments. Because I was down here and I was doing my thing, doing a production in Atlanta, do the lights and sound and staging thing. And during a certain part of the year, the business slows down.
Okay.
And when the business slowed down, that's when I usually go out and find an odd job to do. And one of the odd jobs that I wound up doing was for some folks from California who are actually here running scams that hadn't got to the East Coast yet. So I got caught up in their scam. They left and left me thinking everything was all good, and then one day I'm in Cobb County, and the next thing I know, I'm in Cobb County. And while I was there, it looked like it was hopeless because I'd never been in jail like that before. Maybe a parking ticket or something like that, but I'd never been in there and put in the clothes and all that and gave him the number. So I thought back to Malcolm X and when he said, "You can imprison my body, but until I decide that I'm in prison, my mind is still free."
Yes.
So I picked up a pad and I thought of, I had started writing my sister letters. And I looked up one day and I was writing 14-page letters to her. And she's like, "Why are you writing me books?" And I'm like, "I don't write books, I write letters." And then I had this brother that didn't spell well, and he was getting letters home. He was getting letters from his girl, and he wanted me to write back. And he wanted me to make them spicy and saucy. So I started writing letters for him, and he started getting more commissary money, so we got to be good friends.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
And he's like, "You need to write a book." I'm like, "But I can't write a book." He's like, "You already wrote a book to my girl." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it just for you." And I came up with a character and put him into a place in the situation, and I sat back to see what he would do, and I just wrote down what I saw him do. And with that, I linked into the muse, and the muse took me there. And I would find myself writing 25, 30 pages a day, and then the next morning I'd look at the last line I wrote, and it was like hitting pause on a VCR. It would just start coming out again.
Wow.
And it took me about a month and a half to write that book.
That's all?
And then 2 days later, I grabbed the pad and started writing another one because after doing it for so long, there was nothing else that I could think to do because I didn't play cards. I didn't make friends because I didn't know anybody in there. The telephones cost way too much to be on for long, so I found myself writing. And I wrote books, I wrote TV shows, I wrote plays, I wrote a couple of movies, I sketched out a couple of fashion lines, and I did a lot because I didn't do anything else. All I did was write.
So it's like you turned on the faucet and it wouldn't stop, and it just began to pour out of you.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, this particular book that we're talking about today, Threat Level Red. Now, one of the things that I think is so cool is that this is nonfiction.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
I said it because I know we talked about it. And so many authors in our community today are writing. No, actually, is it fiction or nonfiction? I may have mixed that up.
It's fiction, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's come true
Gotcha.
since I wrote
All right,
it.
so it's basically fiction with some nonfiction Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, most of the people I know today, everybody's writing nonfiction books, self-help books, things of that nature. So
Right.
when you branch out and do something like this, it really gets attention because we don't have as much of it in our community
Yeah.
specifically as we need.
And the
So,
ones that I have seen, they're mainly the Hood series, the Hood saga, and that's not part of my world, so that's nothing I could write.
yes.
But I work for the Department of Defense and the CDC and the IRS, and I used to read a lot of Tom Clancy and spy novels, and so that's what came out of me, those pieces. And when I read it, I still wonder who wrote it.
Wow.
Even though I know I wrote it, but I was in the zone, and a lot of stuff that I wrote, I didn't even remember writing until I read it again, and then I was like, wow.
Well, actually, there's an author named Og Mandino, and he talks about what he calls God's handbooks, books that when you're writing them, it's not even you writing them. God's writing through you. He's giving you what you need. And then you go back and you read it, and you're like, where'd that come from? Because you were the vessel
Yeah,
to get the story out.
That automatic writing thing.
Yes. So the basic storyline, because we want people to buy the book.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
give us the basic storyline of Threat Level Red.
Okay, Threat Level Red. As you know, when the towers came down, that was the inception of the threat level color code. And we'll never go to green, because green is all clear, safe, no war. Then they have yellow, which is caution, and they have orange. And if you're in like the downtown community of a lot of major cities and that has a rail system, you know the difference between a yellow day and an orange day, because a yellow day looks normal, but an orange day is when they break out the SWAT team with the AR-15s and the dogs that speak German. And that's the orange day. Threat Level Red is a step after that. So the bombing in St. Louis, which is the first post 9/11 bombing on U.S. soil, and Christy Johnson, that pretty sister on the front, is at the FBI, and they call her out to jump in her Black Hawk and go see what happened. When she gets there, there's a lot of air traffic, but she can see something really happened down there. So she contacts Homeland Security and says, I think we should raise the terror threat level to red nationwide. And they're like, well, we've never done that before, and I don't think we're going to want. Well, what the hell? Go ahead, raise it to red. If anything happens, we'll blame it on her.
Yeah.
And so from there, the roller coaster starts, and it's crazy. It gives you a few different people's lives and how they're affected by the threat level red, and how things cross and cliffhangers, and it's.
I already know what. Don't you want to know what? I already want to know what happens next. And it said, that's a movie.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I was a film director before I ever was an author. So when I write visually, and it's very sensual, because I was reading something. I just pop it open every once in a while and read something, and I was reading about a meal that they were making, and the way that I described you could taste the peppers, and you can smell and you can hear the music in the background, and it's strange the way that you all of it comes in from just reading. And it's because of the way that I wrote it, because I was there when I wrote it. So I described everything just as I saw it, smelled it, felt it, and tasted it. And then when you read it, you get what I felt.
Even when you were describing her coming in, it's like I could already see the scene and her looking down and everything. So have you already written the screenplay for this?
I'm working on getting the adaptation for the screenplay.
Okay.
Because I'm a novelist, but to be a screenplay writer, it takes a different skill set to take a lot of the words and collapse them into a visual. And I've got a TV show as well that I wrote, and it's the whole season. It's 14 episodes, but they're all narrative. So I have to, when I get done with this screenplay for this, I got to do the screenplay adaptation for that. And by the time I get done with this, I'll know how to do that. So that'll be another thing I can put in my hat.
I was just thinking that. I was already hearing your mama say, watch somebody do it the first time so you can do it after that, right?
Exactly.
So when you think about this being on the big screen,
I get shivers. And my girl, she was my first editor. She helped me actually write it out, and because it was handwritten, it was 520 pages, And then by the time it got typed, it came out to 717. And when she finished writing it, when she finished typing, I had been out and I came home, and she was packing a bag. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm getting out of Atlanta because somebody's going to copycat this, and I don't want to be here when it happens. And I'm like, it's just a book. It's just on my road. And she's like, I don't know. I'm not convinced. And then a strange incident happened 10 years after I wrote it, because I actually wrote it in 2008. And there was a certain individual in there that came to an interesting demise. And I knew this individual while I was in the process of writing. And 10 years later, I saw an article on the front page of the AJC concerning that same individual. And it's like they could have went in my book and pulled out the description and put it in the newspaper. It sent shivers down my spine, because that's real and it's actually happening. And that guy that I spoke about was still doing what he was doing 10 years later. But now they caught him.
So is this the new Simpsons? Because everybody talks about
Yeah,
how
right.
everything that happened on The Simpsons is happening now in real life.
It's really strange, because I didn't predict Donald, but there's a lot of stuff that happened in this book that's already happening right now.
Wow. So, I mean, like, we're already thinking long term. We're already thinking big screen. So you've already begun writing the sequel, the next part.
The sequel is done. Actually, like I said, and it's strange because since I've been out, I can't write. I can edit what I wrote, but the actual creation, I've pretty much been doing poetry, but I haven't been able to. I've got 2 work in progress novels that I haven't even looked at since I've been out.
So the sequel to this, how many handwritten pages is that one?
560.
So you're ready. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah,
it's just a matter of you taking the content you already have and getting it published and then screenwriting and then the next part of the movie. So, I mean, you've got things set up right now for long-term generational
long-term
wealth. It's where you are.
Exactly. Because I've actually got 4 different lines of books that all have the sequels already written. And I got a couple one-offs, and I got the 2 works in progress.
So right now, this is where you're spending your time and energy, focus, promoting this particular book.
Because whatever I do to make Threat Level Red a #1 best-selling book and get it out there, I'm going to make a cookie cutter, and I'm going to put all the rest of the books through the same process.
Do the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Well, you want to shout out your publisher?
Oh, yeah, Miss Lanita Blackwell. Her same publisher is my same publisher.
Is she not amazing, though?
She's incredible. This is a gift from my publisher
Yes.
that I had no idea was coming. I was walking outside, grumbling on my way outside to go do something, and I couldn't get the door open. And I looked down, I'm like, what is this? I'm thinking my girl that got something from Jiffy Hut or something, and I bring it in and open it up, and I was like, that's me. Look at this. And then the next day, I got another knock, and it was the easel, and I'm like, and then she called me like, did you get something in the mail?
It makes all the difference in the world when you're pursuing new projects and you have people who believe in you and who not only say that with their lips, but through their actions, they show you that. So what type of support have you gotten, I guess, from family and friends and those around you for the book?
Well, that's a very interesting conundrum that I've run into, because a lot of times the people that I expect to be proud of me and the folks I grew up with, I'm thinking they're going to be happy that they know an author now. It crickets. I don't hear from any of them except one guy said, hey, I loaned you $100 back in '97. Why don't you send me one of your books? I'm like, you're the same guy that told me I'll never make money doing books, and you want one free.
Wow. Well,
So,
you know you're moving in the right direction when folks
Yes,
don't
I do.
believe in you. So
Exactly.
just keep on moving.
I let my haters be my motivators.
That's exactly right. Because what's going to happen is these same people on opening night are going to want, to come out on the red carpet and say, I knew him when. We went to elementary school together and all this other stuff.
Exactly.
And you're going to say, I don't know you.
That will bring out a big flag saying, hater.
So where can our audience get the book? They want to get a copy of it.
It's on Amazon.com, everywhere, worldwide. I'm trying to be the first novel drone delivered, but we got to wait for the laws to get fixed for that. But when you go to Amazon, if you put in L. Corbin Bay, Threat Level Red, you're going to get 2 pictures. the first one is going to be blue. That's my first edition.
Okay.
And that was only volume 1. And that's the one that I sold to Lanita. I autographed it, and she got to the end, and she's like, "Where's the rest of it?" And she contacted me, and I gave her the second half, and then we put both of them together, so now it's the full story. And that's this cover right here, the yellow one, second edition with Christy Johnson's face.
Wow. So in terms of inspiration, when other young people, other young writers look at you, what do you hope they get from your story and seeing you push through to make this happen?
Everybody's got a story in them. And all you have to do is write it. Because the one thing that deters most writers more than anything else is wanting to write a book. Because if you're wanting to write it, then you're not writing it. And I had no idea I was going to have a 500-page novel. I just started it, and it started to write itself. Because the characters are there, and they're just waiting for you to breathe life into them.
Wow. I love that, because I've actually told people before, when I finished this book here, it's like I could see the other books in line, like people, and they were like looking around like, when is it going to be my turn? When can I come out?
Hey,
yeah.
I'm here.
Yes, and so I agree with you. Everyone has a story, but for some reason, some people think that their story doesn't matter, or that no one's going to want to read theirs.
Right. But everything that's special and individual about you is something that somebody else is either questioning about, or they want to know about, or they'll find it interesting just because that wasn't their life.
Yes.
So people want to read about lives that aren't the ones they live, so they can live them vicariously through you.
Do you think you'll ever write an autobiography?
I don't think so, because there's just too much, and there's too many people still alive that I have secrets on that I can't tell.
So you can't write now, is what you're saying.
Right, exactly. The names have to be changed to protect the guilty.
You didn't even say the innocent, you said the guilty.
Yes, and they would come after me, because everybody would know, because I've led a kind of public life. So folks would know who I'm talking about, even if I changed their name because of the situation. So
it almost would take a ghostwriter to come in and write about you, and people not be able to connect you and this person.
Pretty much. I would need a ghostwriter for the ghostwriter.
That's real. So you know some people is what you're saying.
I know a little bit of something here and there, and where a couple things are under the dirt. So I'll just, read the books, and you'll get a puzzle pieces in every book.
I like that, I do. So if someone wants to follow you, connect with you, maybe have you come in, because I'm listening to you speak, and I think, it'd be great to have you come in and speak to groups of young people and tell about your life and about writing. How can they contact you?
Well, I've got Threat Level Red has its own group on Facebook, so they can go to Threat Level Red group, or if they want to catch me on Instagram, I'm Pen7Pub. PEN number 7 PUB. That's short for Pendulum 7 Publishing. That was my first publishing company. And they can reach me there on IG. And I love the babies. That's why when I was here for your Boss Awards, I was totally blown away, because a lot of the things that you were giving awards for are programs that I also have in my repertoire going down the road. Yes.
Well, before you go, let's talk about that, because you did mention to me that night that you have some things that you do in terms of young people. Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, if you see the name on my book, I am L. Corbin Bey. I am a Moorish American, and I'm involved with the foundation called the Moorish Cultural Foundation. And inside that foundation, I have a program called Genie, which is guiding and educating new inventors. And I like to take the youth and bring them in and show them how to Imagineer, how to take their imagination and turn it into a thing, and then have that thing, and then have people come through that are in all walks of the business, the patent attorney and the people with the money and all of them, and let them speak to them, show them how it works, and then at the end of the program, they come out with a patent pending.
We need to do that in this space right here. This would be a great space for you to bring something like that.
Definitely.
I love that. Well, definitely keep us in the loop. And we want you to stay around, because we're going to bring you back at the end of the show to close out altogether.
Okay.
Sound good?
That'll work.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with Miss Tiara Higgins here on the Regina Sunshine Show on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, no problem.
book for real. Okay. Awesome. You got your phone? Okay. I was waiting to see. Yeah. Are you ready?
So we're gonna usher on Miss Tierra Higgins. Everybody welcome Miss Tierra Higgins on. All right, and we're back.
All right, you guys, you are back live on the air at Regina Sunshine, here on the Regina Sunshine show, on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. I keep thinking I haven't done them all, or I've done too many, or something like that. But I want to welcome to our show singer Miss Tierra Higgins. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
You're not nervous, are you?
A little bit.
It's okay. We're going to have a good time. Well, I always like to mention how I met someone, and this is the first time I think you and I have met face to face, but I've known your brother since he was in my class
Yes,
at
ma'am.
Piedmont Technical College in Greenwood, South Carolina. So
Yes,
anytime that I can connect with somebody that's connected to him, I know it's a blessing. So thank you for being on our show.
Thank you.
So tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Tierra Higgins. I'm a teacher. I'm a choir director. And I've been singing ever since I was young. And I actually started singing in public when I was in the 7th grade at my middle school. I actually auditioned for a song for my class. And I was actually scared and nervous because it was my peers, but I did it.
You
and
did
here
it.
I am now.
How did it feel that first time? Did it feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
It did. I felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Awesome.
did.
Well, you mentioned that you're a teacher, and what you said in your email, and I want to read this because it says a lot about who you are. It says, "My name is Tierra Higgins. I'm from Greenwood, South Carolina. I lived there for a little while. I'm 24 years old, and I've been singing all my life. I was saved as a young woman, and I'm after God's own heart." I love that. And I currently am a preschool teacher, and you are the youth choir director at your school. I love the fact that you say you're a woman after God's own heart. What does that mean to you?
That means somebody that really strives to be the person that God wants them to be.
So that's important to you,
It
that
is.
you set that example. Especially I think about you being a teacher too, for kids to see you and know this is a woman of God and she's living a life of excellence. That matters to you.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Well, that's important because so many of our teachers, and I'm an educator as well, for some reason think they can separate who they are in life with who they are in the classroom. But the kids pick up on fake real easy, don't they?
Really do.
They can pick you out of a crowd to be the fake one if you're not real. So where did you get this love for working with youth?
When I was young, I would always set up my little doll babies and everything, and I would pretend to be the teacher. And as I was young, I always wanted to be a teacher. I always knew that was a passion that I had. And I always loved children.
That's good, because I always tell people, if you're in education, it should be something you love to do. Because I had a lady once that said she worked at a school. She said she would sit in the parking lot and she would cry every day when she had to go. I said, "Baby, that's not for you. You don't need to be at the school. The kids need somebody there who wants to be there with them." So I'm happy when I meet people like you who it's obvious that you have a love for it. You're not doing it because of some dollar bill, but because you have a love for it. Well, we'll talk about your music. So what type of music are you singing right now?
I sing gospel music.
And why gospel? Tell me why gospel.
Because when you sing gospel, it's different from country, it's different from R&B, it's different from blues. It's different. It kind of has its own little area. Yeah. It doesn't blend in with this type of song or doesn't blend with that type of genre. It's just itself. It's set apart from everything else. So when you know that you're a person that's set apart from everyone else, just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. And that's what I think gospel helps me do. It helps me be myself. I could put so much into gospel than I can if I was to hear an R&B song. I just feel good when I sing
I
gospel.
like
I just love it.
that.
I
You
do,
know,
I love
because
it.
one of the things about music in general is the ability to reach people, right?
Yes,
And to
ma'am.
elevate them from the space they're in. So you take the music and you add in the ministry
I
part
do.
of it.
I do.
And, you know, you give yourself an opportunity to be in that space and see people's lives change. That's special.
Yes, ma'am.
What does it feel like to be in that space and you're worshiping, you're singing, and then to have you look out and see other people entering into worship because of you?
It's how can I can't even put it into words. It's undescribable. It's an amazing feeling. It just warms my heart and my soul, and it just makes me feel like, okay, God, this is what you want me to do, so this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put my all in. Not give you a little bit, but I'm going to give you all of me.
Yes. Your eyes lit up when you started
It
that. You
does.
did.
I
See,
love
and that's
it.
how you know when a person is in a space that they were divinely created to be in, because it's something that you would do if you were all by yourself.
Yes,
You would
ma'am.
sing, wouldn't you?
I would. I would sing all day.
I love that. I do. So what are some of your dreams for where your music is going?
Hopefully one day I would hope to have my CD out sometime next year.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. And hopefully one day I can minister to all over the world.
It's very doable. Number one, you've got an amazing team behind you and family. It makes such a difference when you have people in your corner that love you and support you. So you've already got a bunch of people
Yes,
beat
ma'am.
just with that. And then for you to obviously love what you do and love God the way you do. And that's whole. So you got the team, you've got the passion and the talent, girl. You're unstoppable.
With
It's time
God.
this is time to do it now, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
Well, we were planning on having you sing a song.
Okay.
And I don't know, Roy, should we break a second and let's get set up for that? Or
You want to roll right into it?
we can roll right into it. So what we'll do is, we're going to let you sing live, and then we'll talk about your music a little bit more after you sing. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
You ready to go? So tell us a little bit about the song you're going to sing.
The song is called Everything, and to just sum the whole song up, it talks about, you can really interpret it any kind of way that you want to. But my interpretation is, God is my everything. He's my healer. He's my savior. If I didn't have my mother, he's my mother. He's my father. He's my sister. He's my brother. He's so much wrapped into just one. As they say, he's the Trinity. So he's everything wrapped up into one. So he's my everything.
I love that. Well, you go ahead and get the music ready, and I'll intro. For the first time on the Regina Sunshine Show here on the Regina Sunshine Global Network, we have Miss Tierra Higgins singing Everything.
You are my everything. You are my Alpha and Omega. You are my everything. You're my beginning and the end. You are my everything. Yes, you are. You are my everything. Oh, you are my Savior. You are my King. You are my Master. You are my everything. Yes, you are my everything. You are my everything. You are my Alpha and Omega. You are my everything. You're my beginning and the end. My everything. Yes, you are. You are my everything. You are my healer. You are my way maker. You are my provider. You are my peacemaker. Oh, you're my everything. My everything. You are my everything. You are my Alpha and Omega. You're my beginning and the end. Yes, you are. Oh, everything, 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 everything. Oh, everything, everything, everything. Oh, everything. You're my everything, my everything.
Yes. That was worship.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
was worship because you forgot we were here. It was
did.
just you and him, and I felt
You
that.
were.
That makes all the difference when it comes to real gospel music.
It
It's not
does.
about a performance because literally you were gone. We just happened to be in this space with you. Again, what does it feel like to be able to do something you know God put you here to do? And to be able to impact people, because right now, like you said, you're looking at going global here.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
there will be times you'll be on stages and there'll be thousands of people who'll be worshiping with you to make that kind of impact. What does that feel like?
It's amazing to know that God has given you this gift to give to others, to help to bring them to where He needs them to be. It's just an amazing feeling, and I'm grateful, and I thank Him for it.
So do you have any upcoming shows or events or anything you want to tell us about that we can plug into or our audience can plug into?
I do. On November the 10th, I'll be opening up for Marvin Sapp in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Ah,
I am.
Greenwood, get ready.
Yes, ma'am. I'm super excited about that.
That's beautiful. I mean, to be able to prepare the way for a legend in the gospel industry, and to be on that stage with him, that's a special space
Yes, ma'am.
to be invited into. So, dream collaboration. If there was any artist that you could work with, who would that be?
I have so many. Only one?
Give me a
Okay.
couple of them. Give me a couple of them.
Let's see. I would love to collaborate with Kalante Gavin.
See, I don't know who that is. You gotta turn me on. Tell me who that is.
He's the young man whose video went viral when he was singing in his lunchroom cafeteria.
Okay, that
South
sounds
Carolina.
familiar. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Mary.
Yeah, that would
Yes,
be awesome.
ma'am. Marvin Sapp.
Well, see, you know what? You need to go and put a word in Marvin's ear that night, Like, before
trying.
you close out the show, call me back up. We can do something before you go.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. It's just so many people.
Well, let me tell you something. One thing I've learned is to ask for what you want. And I was actually at a mastermind meeting this Saturday hosted by Dr. Marquita Blades. Shout out to Dr. Blades. And the first tool she gave us was to ask. Because if you don't ask, you'll never get it, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you ask for it and they say no, you still got the same thing you had before you asked. So I will go up in there, was November the 10th?
November the 10th.
And say, Mr. Sapp, before the show is over, I would love to do a duet with you. All he can say is no. But a girl, if he says yes.
I know.
Right?
Yes,
So I'm going to
ma'am.
put that out there. I'm going to check back to see if you asked.
Okay.
All right? Because
Okay.
I'm going to hold you to that
All right.
because,
Yes, ma'am.
I always say one connection can change your entire business, can change
Yes, ma'am.
everything for you. All it takes is one person. And as somebody put on Facebook today, God is setting up a situation where your name is being whispered into the right person's ear. All it takes one person to whisper your name into the right ear. Changes everything. Changes everything. So, in terms of what else you love to do outside of music, what other loves do you have?
I love spending time with family.
First of all, I have to say you have an amazing family, okay?
Okay.
I know a few of them here and there. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
To be in a space where you have a family that loves you and supports you the way your family does, what difference has that made in your business?
It has made a big difference because so many people don't have that support system and they're doing it on their own. And it's just like that, all about out there by themselves. When you have that support system, you have people bagging you up and encouraging you and praying for you, it just makes it easier to do. And it gives you the encouragement that you need to go and just push yourself out there and just go do it.
That's awesome. So if there's a young woman or a young man watching, and maybe they have some of the same dreams you have, and they've been afraid because maybe they come from a small town like you,
Yes,
right? Or they, been told, nobody from Greenwood ain't never done nothing, or they're hearing all this negative around them as to why they can't do what they want to do. What would you say to them?
I would say you have to encourage yourself. You have to be determined. You have to be motivated. And you definitely have to stay prayed up. You got to pray. That's the most important thing, I think, it is. You have to pray. And you have to just believe and leave everything else up to God.
Absolutely. And I was going to ask you that. How do you stay encouraged? How do you build yourself up on a daily basis?
I pray. Constantly pray. Daily prayer. And try to stay in my word and just continue to stay humble and just go after whatever I want to do.
Awesome. Well, tell our audience how they can follow you on social media and where they can get your music.
Okay. You can get my music on YouTube. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Spotify. And to connect with me, you can go to my Facebook page, Tiara, Tiara, Higgins, Higgins. And to connect with me on Instagram, you can go to my Instagram page, Miss Tiara, all lowercase, MSTIARA_21.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring our other guests back, and we're going to close out the show together. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, you guys, you've been live here at Regina Sunshine and Tiara Higgins on the Regina Sunshine Show on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. Good job.
Thank you.
You're all nervous for nothing.
I know.
All right. This is good. Yeah. And in fact, does anybody from Street Capital want to say anything? How are you? I was asking Justin, does anybody from Street Capital want to say anything while we're on air? I said, does anybody from Street Capital want to say anything when we come back before we close out the show? Okay. All right. The look on her face was like, please come. Yeah, you didn't see it. I was like, come up here. How you been, honey?
I'm a child lady.
You come on back. You come on back. Doing good? And actually, you want to put your book over here? Put this one over there. We'll readjust everything. Okay. Put that for me right there. Well, I was going to say, because whenever we're talking, I was like, doesn't he have a website too? But I was thinking maybe that was your preferred way, so I didn't want to interfere and say something different.
They're working on it too, so I don't know if that lot out there, but it will be.
Okay. So you're going to mention it this time?
Yeah.
Okay, because I actually went on it earlier today, and it was a.
Okay.
All right.
So everything looks good.
We're good.
In 3, 2, and 1.
All right, you guys, you're back live on the air at Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. I've been rejoined by both of my guests from today's show. And, we didn't have an official theme for today's show, but I think this falls in our People You Need to Know series. You need to know Tiara Higgins. You need to know L. Corbin Bay as well. So I love to bring my guests back so we can close out together, giving us an opportunity to, encourage our listeners. And I had a couple questions here I wanted to ask you. If someone is trying to start something new, and again, they don't know where to start, or maybe they're feeling discouraged because, like I said before, maybe someone in their family has never done something, what's that first step you would tell them to take just to get out there and get going?
Google it.
You are so right, because you can Google anything.
Google it, and you go to YouTube, you can be an expert by the end of the week.
You know what? My son says that all the time. He says you can learn anything on YouTube these
Right, I
days.
don't know how colleges are still getting money because you can learn everything you want on YouTube.
That is so true. Because because I know he wanted to make some type of fried rice, and so he went on there and he found the whole class. He learned how to make it.
Find 4 or 5 different versions of
Yes.
it. Yeah, there's a lot out there.
You know what? I didn't think about it. He said Howard College is, that's a whole, that education wreck is a whole other thing. We won't. Yeah, and then there'd be a threat level red if we start, discussing that.
I did a teaching thing.
You did a teaching thing? He's done
everything but have babies.
Everything but have babies.
All those categories.
Same thing, Tiara. If someone's out there and they're wanting to get started, what's that first thing or first move to kind of encourage them to get out?
Just go do it.
I like that. Don't overthink it,
Don't
right?
overthink it. Just go do it.
A lot of people do that. They think they've got to have this whole list, and I got to have it planned out.
They call that the paralysis of analysis.
Yes. And
Studying so much that you get stuck and forget to do what you were studying to do.
Absolutely, and then you get nothing done at all. And while you're standing there, somebody else is over there doing it and has passed you while you're still sitting there.
Exactly.
Perfect example. I had an idea for an invention. It was supposed to be either like a wrap that had cooling and heating properties in it. And I went through the whole design process and everything, looked around and saw it on TV. I said, now see, I'm around here playing around, and somebody is making money off an idea that I know God gave me.
Because those ideas are in the ether. And
Absolutely.
Once it's out there that's verbalized, it's free game. So
It
you
is.
Go for it because somebody's going to get it.
Absolutely, and I think about that. The first commercial when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, that's too late then. By the time it's being marketed on television, it's a bit late.
Wow, yeah.
It's a bit late. So we talked before about family, and you talked. We got varying situations here. Tiara's got this 100% backing, close knit, really there for you. Still wondering where the folk at that said they were going to support you. Same question. There's a young person or someone who's listening, and maybe they're in that situation where nobody believes in me, nobody supports me. What would you tell them to do in that situation?
Keep believing in yourself and support yourself, because I tell you, if I hadn't got that first copy out, that first edition, which is my collectible with all the errors in it and everything, but it's going to be collectible in a couple of years, come out a lot of stuff. But if I hadn't done that and bought myself books and signed them and autographed them to everybody that bought them, I'd have never met Lanita, and I'd never be sitting here right now.
Absolutely. Same thing. See, even though you've had that family support, so there's someone who doesn't have what you have, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to, like Mr. Faye said, just go for it and believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
If you're the only person that believe it, go do it.
That's exactly right. I say also create your own new family. I always
That
say,
too.
your friends are the family you choose, right? So I'm going to go and create my own little group of people around me, to be that support system. But there are going to be times you're going to be alone. You're going to have to be able to encourage yourself. Well, I thank you guys. Go ahead.
Shout out. I do got some sisters that do look out for me. So.
You were getting ready to be in trouble. You was getting ready to be in trouble.
From the Boss Award.
I'm gonna, yes, you gonna get home and they're gonna be like, now you was on TV and said what? That's real though. That's real. Cause they'd have been like, all right, you said we ain't got you. All right, we ain't got you. Well, I do thank you guys so much for being here, for sharing your gifts, your talents, and abilities with us. I want you to tell our audience again how they can follow you, how they can reach you. We'll start with you, Tiara.
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram, Miss Tiara _21. That is MSTIARA_21. And on Facebook, you can follow me at my name, Tiara, TIARA Higgins, HIGGINS.
And will you shout out the team that you were part of? I don't think you even said their name live on air.
I didn't. I would like to give a shout out to Street Capital, to Justin Allen and Major, and everybody else that was included. Thank you.
Awesome. They're smiling now, you see. Oh, I think there's somebody else in the corner over here.
And my mommy.
I was going to say, you can be in trouble, too.
Can't forget mama. Thank you, mama.
Awesome. Mr. Bay.
So you can reach me once again at P7 Pub, PN number 7 PUB on IG, and Threat Level Red, the group on Facebook. And I forgot to tell you about lcbay.com. That's my website, and I'm building it now, and it's under construction, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff there coming up. So keep checking back and see what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in, for being here with us. I leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll be right back here. We've got some special guests I want to give a shout out to. We've got two little girls that own their own baking business, Ziggy and Tootie, and they're going to be doing a live taste testing here with us. We got some other guests, but I'm most excited about these little girls because they're like 6 and 7 or something.
Wow.
Oh, yes. They're dope. They have their own YouTube channel. They have a reading show. I mean, you name it. NASA actually had them come down and do some things. I mean, they're doing some big stuff. So I'm so excited. These little girls and their mama are going to be here with us. And this might be a good time to be down in the studio. Let's taste all these great sweet treats they're going to bring. And most of them are vegan. So that's going to be even more exciting. All right. So we thank you guys again for tuning in. A shout out to our sponsors, Miss Lanita Mitchell Blackwell with Leading Through Living and Bold Favor, Mr. Terry Searcy with Studio T, and of course, our producers, Royce and Devette with Frozen Moments Media for helping us do what we do here on the Regina Sunshine Show. And so I'll leave you with my personal motto. I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed. Keep winning. We're out. Great job! Woo! High five. High five.
No doubt.
Awesome. Let's get these pictures. Well, leave it there for the pictures. We're going to take pictures. Okay. We're going to relax a second. You want us to pose for you? Whose phone is it? You said it's a good phone. I like them phones take them pretty pictures. Nice pictures.
It's my stole my Samsung, looking with an LG.
Oh, wow.
My Samsung, I can take folks out of the picture and walk in the background.
Oh, wow.
That was the best phone ever. I took it at the QT.
I was gonna say, did you like lay it down somewhere?
It was in my seat when I went to get gas, and somebody walked
Oh,
up
wow.
and just stuck their hand in my car and grabbed it.
People are
And I was listening to the
bold.
music on the Bluetooth, and the music started fading out. Grab my phone. Ah, man. And
Oh,
I see
wow.
the car leaving, and I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I would call the
People are
cops. I got the
bold. I
footage.
mean, I would just know I'm gonna get caught, right? They gonna see me.
All right, we are ready, y'all. Okay.
Big smile. And 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get one more. And 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Perfect. All right, we're gonna take some individual pictures. So you guys take turns right here, and she'll take a picture of you by yourself.
Okay.
All right. Get rid of us. Go scoot out. Two,
agree?